So hi Hussein, good afternoon.
Thank you.
How are you?
Thank you. I'm fine, and you?
I'm doing awesome. Well, Hussein, as you know, today is our last session, and I know that through our time together we've made some excellent progress, and I want to know how you're feeling about today. How are you feeling about this last session?
I'm a little bit excited. So, what kind of additional advice are you going to give me on making these kind of things? And also, actually, I wonder how the session is going to be end. And at the end, the counselor what usually said to their clients.
Well, I'm glad you bring that up. So this session is basically, we're going to talk about the progress that you've made and some changes and how we can continue that change throughout your time. And so basically that's what the session is. And if you are ever worried and ever want to come back, I'm always going to be here. So if anytime you're feeling those feelings of loneliness and sadness, I will always be here and I will always be a call away. So
Thank you.
yes. So like I said, we're going to talk about some progress that you've made, and I've written down some notes. So we have some important things have changed since our first meeting. What do you see as some of the most important changes that have happened?
Actually, by talking with you, I'm starting to find a solution to myself. What is my problem? Let's say about loneliness and other things, family issues, etc. But beside, as you asked me some question, I tried to think in other ways and try to find also solutions to myself. So by giving me some names of the cooking schools, and also I searched a lot about them. So I find one. The name is Cooking with a Twist.
Oh, that sounds interesting.
So I contact with them and started to attend to the class. And I have my first impression is good. I think I'm going to find a good environment there, and especially at the weekends I can attend there, and I'm going to have a good network or relationship with other people there, because cook is something. The people who engage with cooking have a good relationship with each other, and they have many things to talk with each other. They have their memory. Their memory is very good. Sometimes with the institute that they are worked, they have a lot to talk with each other about their experience, about the funny things that happen. So first of all, for the beginners, I have a lot hope to improve in this area. I started even to know some fundamental names of the items in the kitchen and what kind of spices they are usually using. So beginning from the kitchen concept, let's say, and I think I'm going to build, and I hope this relationship is going to be intensive relationship. Yeah, thank you so much.
No problem. Well, thank you for sharing that with me. And I can just see by your facial expressions that you're so excited and you have so much hope. And I hope that you carry that on further, even after our sessions end, and hope that everything goes well in your cooking classes.
Yeah, it is. Sometimes I read the book related little things makes big differences sometimes. So I shared some pictures with my daughter, with my wife, related to cooking class and what American cuisine looks like. So they started to interest about what kind of things the American people usually eating and how they cook and what's their favorite, let's say, meal. So as I have at least common things to talk with each other. So they started to ask me about questions about cooking. So I hope and I see that they started to interest about American life and kitchen also. Yeah.
So would you say that cooking, learning about this cooking class and joining this cooking class has allowed a window into your relationship with your family?
Yes, I think so, because they are. We have at least common things to talk with each other, and they are interested with the kitchen and with other with my activity during the weekends. And I'm talking about some my friends, let's say the people I talked with them, and the funny stories that they told me. So they are also, my family also started to interest and curious and asking some questions. What is this? What is that? Who is that? Etc. Yeah, this is a good relationship.
Yes. So how do you feel about this new relationship dynamic with your family?
Do you mean the cooking class there at 10?
The dynamic. So the cooking class opened this window, and how does that make you feel? That now that they're interested in...
Yeah, I'm not always closed in my house. At least I have planned at the end of, for the end of the weekends, and this is a good opportunity for me. Instead of when I come from work, and especially at the end of the weekend, or where I should go, what to do, or where I can find some friends, in order to ask these kind of questions with me, questions to myself. So right now I have, at the end of the weekend I'm going to attend to cooking class, and I'm going to learn something new, and I'm also going to introduce my culture to them. Maybe this is also an interesting thing for them. Sometimes I saw and I observed that some culture or especially related to cooking, eating, etc., is better than what they are doing. So I think if I cook a good meal, special dish, let's say, for them, they are going to enjoy, and they are going to maybe market, maybe introduce it to the market. Yeah, I think so.
I'm so happy that you're taking this new activity and looking at it in such a happy and hopeful light, that you're even thinking about it in the future, and it brings you so much happiness.
By the way, one day I'm going to prepare a special dish, especially, did you heard about Turkish doner?
No, I have not.
You didn't heard about Turkish doner?
No.
So it is famous in Turkey, so please Google it, and you are going to see it's like like a taco bell, but it is different style, and it is spread all over the world, let's say. I went to China, I saw it in China. In all of the European people start to ask about Turkish doner, and I saw in many American cities, especially in New York. So people know about the Turkish doner, and they are trying to taste the Turkish doner.
Oh, wow, I'm going to have to write that down. Let me grab a pen.
I don't know why it's not common in Houston.
It's Turkish?
Turkish doner.
How do you spell that?
D-O-N-E-R.
Amazing. I will look that up.
Yeah, you can go with it from there. So,
Thank you for
but
sharing that with me.
if they taste it, the Houston people, if they taste the Turkish doner, I'm sure they are going to like it.
So your plan is to make this Turkish,
One of these,
make it,
yes.
and then market it. Wow.
Not marketed for, how to say, for selling and buying, etc. But I'm going to introduce to know my friends. So if anybody want to serve it in his or her restaurant, let's say, they can. But the name and brand is related to Turkey.
Well, that sounds like a wonderful plan. Well, I will most definitely look this up, and hopefully everything I'm able to taste this Turkish doner, right? Or
Yes.
how do you?
Serving nearby Turkish baklava. So
That
it's
sounds
very
delicious.
Yes. Actually, after
You're
the
making
doner,
it-
you can eat Turkish baklava. But besides the Turkish doner, I think we are, in our tradition, we are usually drinking ayran, which is made from yogurt, like adding butter in it and mixing it, and then eating Turkish doner with Turkish ayran, and sometimes pepper.
Look at you. So well versed, and thank you for teaching me all that. I did not know all of that food. So thank you, Hussein, for sharing that all with me, and I'm definitely going to try all those foods that you recommended. I'm so excited. And I just wanted to ask you, now that therapy is coming to an end, I wonder what are your thoughts about not coming into session?
So, I think during our sessions, some ideas comes to my mind, and your talking inspired me. And right now, I find, I think, a way to build my relationship with other people. So, I think it is okay.
You're not worried?
I'm not worried. And thank you.
No problem. So I know in the beginning of the session you were having feelings of loneliness and you were having feelings adapting, but now that we've gone through session, do you feel like those concerns are still bothering you today?
To be honest, I'm at the beginning of the way. Everything is not find its solution. But I have hope. I have hope, and I feel I have started to make progress. So at the future, I think everything is going to be okay.
That's a good way, a good outlook to have as we end the session today. And do you feel as if you have the necessary skills if something else does come up?
Can you repeat your question?
Do you see yourself handling problems in the future after our time together?
As I told you, I think when I started, when I have a problem, when I'm not satisfied with my relationship here in the United States and feelings alone, so I was very boring. So I was very stressful. So I'm trying to, when I talk with my family, with my co-workers, I easily get angry. So when we talk with each other and when we talk with you, so I try to find if I have something to make myself busy and get leisure time. So I think maybe my stress go out and I will be calm. So the cooking class, attending to cooking class is, I think, is a good idea to build this kind of relationship. So, and at the end, I have hope if I deepen relationship with other peoples, I'm going to find a good way to solve or to communicate with each other, especially my family. Otherwise, I'm all the time talking, I'm boring, I do not have anybody to talk with. And this makes a vicious circle. So also my family is going started to boring with this kind of talking. So I think having the cooking class open a new windows in my mind, and you are inspiring me this idea. Thank you so much.
I'm glad you are gaining some communication skills. Is that what you're saying?
Yes.
I'm glad that through our sessions you were able to gain those skills to help you better your relationships with your family and deepen them. Because as you were telling me that you have become a lot closer with your daughter and with your family, correct?
Yes.
Well, I'm glad that through session we've been able to help, that you've been able to continue that. So I know that in the beginning of session, one of your goals was to reduce your feelings of loneliness. Do you feel like you have more goals now?
Yes. Yeah. For the first step, I find this place, and I'm attending to this place, to cooking class. And by the time is passing, we'll see what will happen.
Well, thank you for sharing your new goals and how you're going to accomplish your goals. I know that many clients that I've seen before feel as if therapy is a loss, and I just wanted to check base if you're experiencing any of those feelings of loss.
No, I don't think it is a loss. It is not a loss, because I forced myself, especially when I talk with you, to find also what kind of solution can I find to myself in order to find a solution to my problem. This is at least made me to to challenge myself to find a solution.
Mhm.
So when I think in this way, it's not a loss.
Well, thank you for sharing that with me, and I'm glad that you're looking at it in a more positive light
Yes.
and looking at all the positives that you've gained from therapy, that you're joining the cooking class, that the cooking class has enabled you to have an open communication, open a window to talk to
Mhm.
your daughter and to your family more, and that it's helped you with your relationships with your coworkers, because you just told me that you don't feel angry anymore, correct?
Yes.
So all these things that you've learned, I hope that you carry them out, and when you're trying to fulfill those new goals that you set out for yourself, I hope that you remember that everything that you've accomplished.
Mhm.
And just remember that if you ever feel like you need me, I'm here.
Thank you.
And I would love to reach back, contact you for you to come in for just a checkup in the next 3 months. Is that okay with you?
Maybe earlier, I don't know.
Earlier?
Yes, because if I find a restaurant in order to cook there for part-time, let's say, I'm going to invite you.
Oh.
Especially if I have, if I can make a Turkish dinner,
Mhm.
and I'm going to serve it to you.
Thank you for the offer, and I would love to eat your dish that you prepared for me. And if you don't feel comfortable for meeting in the next 3 months, we can shorten it and we can do in a month. How's that?
I'm going to call your office, and if I have, if I need to meet, I'm going to call your office,
Mhm.
and maybe you can take that in consideration.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Yes, of course. My
Mhm.
office is here and you can just call in. But just remember that you've accomplished so much and that you have the skills to continue making progress.
Mhm.
And I hope you walk out of here feeling empowered and inspired to continue making change. And I want to just make sure that we have that month. And like you said, if you want to call earlier, then you can go ahead and call earlier. We can make a phone consultation. But I'm going to set up that appointment for the month. And then if you want to come in earlier, you can go ahead and do that.
Okay, thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much
Thank you.
for staying. It was nice
Thank you.
having you.
See you. Thank you.